Good morning, guys. Guys are getting voice?
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, Indra, good morning. Yeah. So, shall we start our discussion? So, what is the we discussing previously? So, why Django REST framework is required, guys? Okay, na? Last session about the Django REST framework we discussed. Django REST framework. So, simply we are calling DRF. DRF Django REST framework. Okay. Now here, why Django REST framework is required? What is Django REST framework? First of all, knowledge is required. So Django REST framework is what? An extension concept of the Django only. Am I right? So Django REST framework, simply DRF is an extension concept of Django framework. Django framework. So the concepts which are available in the Django framework, those all concepts available in the Django REST framework also, plus some extra concepts available, like some new modules, new methods, new classes are providing by Django REST framework. Because of these things, we are getting lot of benefits to developing the coding at the time of developing the coding, guys. Okay, so Django REST framework providing so many ready-made modules or classes or methods. Because of these all modules or classes or methods, as a developer, we are not going to write more coding. We are going to get a ready-made coding, ready-made lines of code. So that's why Django REST framework is getting more demanding nowadays. I mean, this is reducing the burden on developers by providing the automatic coding. Okay, so this one remember, sir. And at the time of learning Django, about the Django concepts all you are learning. Now at the time of learning about the Django REST framework, this REST framework providing new classes, methods related we will discuss. And using these REST framework related APIs, I mean using this REST framework related concepts, we are going to developing the APIs. So how we are going to developing APIs? What is the use of those APIs? And I mean, how interacting from application to application using these APIs, we will discuss in these all sessions, guys. Okay, and real time 100% required the REST API for our existing Django. I told these all points. Clear, Swan? Okay, I'm giving what overview points for the last session related, and some more new points we'll discuss, guys. No problem. So always one point remember. So Python is learning by so many people. Python is learning by so many people. Different people are learning, guys. Okay. So some people are going to data science. Some people are going to data data science side. Data science side. Some people are going. Some are going to artificial intelligence. Some are going to deep learning sector. Some are going to machine learning. Okay. Machine learning, for example, I'm going to take a machine learning. Yeah, now this is our Django. Okay, and later robotics or Flask, something are there. So DevOps related, DevOps also taking DevOps, like a number of areas are there, guys. Okay, these all things are. So Python learning so many people, but after learning, all people are not coming to Django only. So different courses they are learning and they are choosing their career as different platforms. Okay, so if you are choosing this Django, if you are choosing this Django is your career for developing the web development, guys. Okay, then all the people who are learning, the Python, so Django not required to learn, but the people who are learning the Django framework, those all people must be required to learn Django REST framework also, guys. Django REST framework also. Okay. So many vacancies are there in nowadays in the real-time companies. So once if you are learning this REST API, and you can add that is as your skill in your resume. Okay. In your resume, if REST API is there, then more interview calls you are getting, and also some weightage you are going to get, guys, compared to others, the people who don't know about the REST API. Okay. You attending interview, your friend attending interview. If your friend knows REST API, if you don't know REST API, then compared to you, some high priorities goes to your friend only. Not definitely 100% job is coming, I'm not telling, guys, but high priorities goes to your friend only. You and your friend both are giving same knowledge, then secondary person taking your friend only. Why means that person also knows REST API. Okay, na? So this is the REST API related benefits. Now app to app communication purpose, always REST API is required, I told. So here my database is there. In the database we have data, guys. We have data, some data is there. So if you want to get this data, one server application we are going to developing here. One server application we are going to be developing. So the server application is nothing but my Django. So Django is a server application. Okay. So for this Django, we are going to developing the Django URLs, guys. We are going to developing the Django URLs using the Django concepts. Okay, now completing. So after executing our Django, then from the browser, this is my browser, guys. This is my browser. From the browser, we are sending the URL. Django URL I'm sending, as for example Django URL. Okay. Now my request goes to Django project location. In this Django project location, MET architecture is there. Always from the browser, whenever we are sending the URL request, that request first reaching to project level URL.py. Is there any URL is matching or not checking? If any URL is matching, then correspondent view is going to be executed. Okay, all views available in the views. So our cursor jumping to views file from URLs. Now inside the views from top to bottom, requested view is available or not checking. If any view is matching, then going to execute that view. Okay, view taking request, guys, as input and processing the request, finally generating the response, returns that response to back. From where we are getting the request, same place sending the response. Okay. So now I'm going to get the response back. You are sending the request, you are getting the response back. Okay. So this is what we are calling request sending and a response getting. That is the point, guys. The response in the browser we are going to be displaying. Okay. So whenever we are sending the request, my request Django forwarding to database via models. So in the Django ORM queries we are writing as model name dot object dot all, like these all things. Okay. So ORM queries we are writing, then interacting to this database, and we are getting the back data. Okay. So always in the Django ORM queries are there. Using the ORM queries only, from our Django to database we are going to be communicated. Okay. Request we are going to discuss, and response we are going to discuss. So for sending the request, you are getting the response back. Now my Django returns that response to browser, guys. So this is at the time of learning Django. Regularly we are doing this piece of code, guys. Okay. Now when we are sending the request, we are getting the response. By default, this response is what type? By default, this response is what type, means HTML type is there. HTML type of response we are getting, as Django returns the default response type is HTML. So as a human being, we are the human beings. As a human being, we will understanding HTML output. Okay, browser browser displays HTML type output. HTML type out means HTML tags are there. Every tag is having some meaning like that. Okay, so that kind of response you are going to get here, guys. So as a human being, we will understanding HTML output. That's why we are feeling happy. Yes, I got it output like that. But the same HTML response, if we are sending to another application, if we are sending to another application. Okay, so then that is not going to be understanding. For example, Java app, can take it, Java app. So now my Java application sending the request, guys. First, app to app communication time I'm telling. Okay, so Java is sending the request, and Java is going to get the response back. Now request sending, and response we are going to get response plus status codes. You are going to write status codes. So I'm going to write here status codes. Simply response plus status codes you are getting as app to app communication time. I'll tell about the status code more clearly. So many programs we are going to discuss about this one. Okay, now from Java, whenever I'm sending the request, my Django receiving this request, and that request forwarding to database, and getting the response back, guys. Now this response sending back to Java. So from the Java getting the request by Django and giving the response to back. Along with the response status code also returning my Django. Status code also returning my Django. Based on the status code, something is happening here. We will discuss later. We have concepts, okay, app to app communication concept is there. That time what status codes we are getting, each status code behavior is what, like this, everything we will discuss clearly and programmatically. Okay, so now here from Java, whenever we are sending the request, if you are getting we are getting the response generally. Okay, so from this Java, I have Django URLs, guys. If I'm sending here request, request is in the form of Django URLs, or else top side I'll take it, can say request, if sending in the form of Django URLs, Django URLs, then we are getting the response what format, HTML response. So now response sending in the form of what, HTML response sending, guys, to Java. So Java cannot understanding the HTML response. Java is not understanding the HTML response. Java can display HTML in their application, but when receiving the response in the form of HTML, Java is not understanding. Okay, not only Java, .NET or PHP or any other applications. When we are taking the request and giving the response should not be HTML, guys. Response always should be JSON format only required. But Django returns what format, HTML. That's why HTML is not understanding by Java. Then obviously we are getting the one error exception. App to app communication is not possible using the Django URLs. So to overcome this problem, what we are doing means here along with the Django URLs, you are also going to developing what, REST URLs. Okay, REST URLs we are calling REST API URL simply. Okay, so now this REST API URLs, when people are sending the request, okay, when people are sending the request, not like Django URLs, guys. If sending the REST API URL, REST URL. So from Java, if sending the REST URL to Django, now my REST API URL communicating to database and getting the response. And this response return to Java. So that response in the form of what means? Always in the form of JSON or in the form of XML. Maybe JSON or maybe XML. These two are can understanding by other applications. Okay, later I'll tell why JSON only using nowadays, why not using XML. Some differences are there. XML drawbacks are there compared to JSON. What are available, these all things later we will discuss more clearly. Okay, simply my REST API URL, REST API URLs returns a response in the form of JSON or in the form of XML. Simply forget about XML, only we are talking about the JSON. So returns in the form of JSON. Now JSON can understanding by Java. JSON can understanding by .NET, understanding by PHP, like this. JSON response can understanding by all third-party applications, other applications. Okay, that's why app-to-app communication is possible. App-to-app communication is possible using the REST API URLs. Assumption you are not developing REST API to your project, then this Java application are able to communicate with your Django. Not only that one, here one more application is there. So this one also, if you want to communicate with your application, always REST API URL is required, guys. Here one more application is there. So this one also wants to communicate with your application, means REST API is required. When you are providing the REST API to your existing Django, then only our Django application is going to get popularity. Why means all other applications also using your application. I mean, all application people are communicating with your application, guys. Clear this diagram of you? Okay. So that's why we are going to add this REST API to existing Django. Already this Django program, Django project, how developing, you know, in the Django courses time you are getting. Now we are going to discuss only REST API related URLs, how making. So REST API URLs by following the REST API Django REST framework guidelines, we are going to developing. What guidelines it is providing, what procedure we need to follow. So we will discuss about those all things and we will make it REST API URLs. Some days after that parallelly one Django project with that Django, into that Django only REST API URLs also we are going to add. That is we are calling integration, Django to REST API integration. Okay. So at the time of doing integration, some problems are coming, ambiguity problems. I means in Django also views are there, in REST API also views are there, in Django also URLs are there, in REST API also URLs are there. So without getting ambiguity problem, ambiguity means duplicate values, duplicate problems. How we are going to be separating, that is the integration part we will discuss. Clear? So always JSON is required. So blindly remember one point, guys. We are the REST API developer for our Django. So API developer primary goal is what means always written in the form of response. Response written in the form of what? JSON. Then JSON data can understanding by other applications. You are not generating the JSON means other application cannot take this data, unable to taking this data. App not possible communication. So JSON you are not written means as a API developer you are failing. That is the meaning. Okay. So always we are taking the request in the form of JSON. We are sending the response in the form of JSON. That is the JSON API developer role, guys. I hope you are understanding these all things. Yeah, guys. Okay. So later some more points we'll discuss about that one. So can see here. Here my API is there, guys. API is there. This is my API. API. So API is always in the form of JSON or in the form of XML is available. In the form of JSON or in the form of XML. So JSON and XML we are calling the universal languages, guys. Universal message format languages. Okay. So why we are calling universal format languages? These two things only means if any data is available in JSON format or in XML format, that data can understanding by all the other languages in entire world, like Java understanding, .NET understanding, PHP understanding, Django understanding, like this. If any data is available in JSON format, that data can taken by any other languages easily. That's why these languages we are calling universal languages. Python is a popular language, Java is a popular, .NET is a popular, but JSON is a universal common language. Okay. Just one example you can take it, guys. So I know only Telugu. I know only Telugu, guys. Okay. So I want to go, for example, non-location like Delhi. I want to go, guys. There people, majority of the people are talking in Hindi. Am I right? So I know only Telugu. With my Telugu, I can survive in these Telugu states, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. I can survive easily. Okay. When I'm going to north side, for example, Delhi side, so with Telugu, I'm not getting. I mean, I'm unable to communicate with those guys. If I know Hindi, then I will be easily interacting with those guys. Okay. Okay, I know Hindi. Then in Delhi also I can easily survive. But if I'm going to foreign countries like America, London or something, okay, there with Hindi I'm unable to communicate with those guys. To those guys. So if I know English, then using the English I can entire world can survive, guys. I can communicate with the entire world using the English. Am I right? So that is same like this one only. Like a English JSON and XML working, guys. Like a English JSON and XML working. So if data, if you are converting into JSON, your data can taking by all other languages. Java people, .NET people, PHP people, like all the people. That's why these languages we are calling universal languages. English is a universal language. Same like these things are universal. Clear this one? So sometimes you can take one more thing. So I know only Telugu, you know only Hindi, guys. You know only Hindi, you don't know Telugu. I know only Telugu, I don't know Hindi. Okay, but you and me both together must be required to talk to sharing the information. Okay, when I'm talking in Telugu, you don't know. When you are talking in Hindi, I don't know. But we should be communicating. How it is possible? How it is possible means uh, via one mediator, one translator we are taking as a. So when I'm talking in Telugu, that person converting into Hindi. When you are talking in Hindi, that person converting into Telugu. Okay, na? That is we are calling translators. Translators. Same like here, Java language is different. Java language is different, guys. Okay, so my Java language data, I'm converting into .NET format. Okay, or else converting into Django format. Now my Django data also different. Django data is converting into Java format. Like one language to another language, different formats are there. So our Python following the different keywords, different methods to print the data, different data types supporting, and Java also having different data types, different keywords, different object creation. Like so language to language, coding is all different. But always we are in the form of objects. Java objects sending to Django, Django objects sending to Java. How they those both are understanding? Django object to Java, Java object to Django. That's why app-to-app communication is getting problem. So to overcome this problem, we are converting into our Django object into the JSON format, JSON object into Java format. So this is acting like a translator, guys, from one type to another type. Okay, na? All of you. Now here, my Django is there. Here, my Django is there. Django. So here, one Java is there. And here, one .NET is there. For example, if you want, you can take it here. One .NET is there. .NET and Django. See, my Django data, I'm converting into JSON format, guys. My Django objects are converting into JSON. JSON object converting into Django. If I want to take back, then this one. So now here, JSON data converting into Java type and Java data converting into JSON type. Same like .NET converting into JSON and JSON converting into .NET, guys. Okay, so here I'm going to take Java app. So here Django to JSON converting purpose, we are going to write some lines of code, guys. Conversion lines. Conversion lines. Next, if anybody is sending request, Java person sending request in the form of JSON, guys. That JSON request I want to take into my Django. So again here you are going to write some lines of code. Okay, so here also coding lines conversion required. Coding lines conversions required, guys. Are you understanding what I'm telling? Yeah. So here some more lines of code you are going to write. Again back conversion, again some more lines code you are writing. So always in the all the sites API developers must be required. We are the REST API developer, Django REST framework. This is our role, guys. This is our role. Okay, na? So here we are here we are calling what? REST API developer, simply REST API developers. So here Java to JSON, JSON to Java also some developers are there. Those people are calling so web service developers. Web service developers and here .NET side also is there. Simply web API developers we are calling web API developers. Web API developers, web service developers, and REST API developers we are calling. Only language to language, this term only changing. We are calling like those are calling like this way, .NET people are calling like this way, but all people target is same, their own language code, their own language code converting into JSON or XML format, and JSON or XML format code converted into Django format. Okay, here Java into JSON, JSON into Java, .NET into JSON, JSON into .NET, like this. All these sides, Java side, .NET side, Django side, REST APIs developers, APIs developers must be required to make this app-to-app communication, guys. Clear this one? So we are not Java developers, we are not .NET developers, we are the Django developers. So for our Django, how we are developing the REST APIs, that is we are going to discussing. Because of the REST APIs only, because of the REST API URLs only, our Django code is converting into JSON format, and the JSON code is converting into Django. That is our target, guys, in this sessions. In our REST API course, this is we are going to discussing Django to JSON, JSON to Django, how we are going to communicating. Okay, guys. So now can see here. For example, this Java person, I developed one API, guys. I developed one API for my Django. Using that API, all records which are available in the database, I can access. So can see here, my database is there, DB is there. So this database communicating by my Django application, guys. This database is communicating by Django application. Okay. Now here two records are there. Two records are the record 1, record 2, record 3. So these all records I want to get all records. So to get all records, one API is there, API 1. Using the API 1, you are going to get all records which are available here, guys. Now from the browser, whenever I'm sending the request, I'll get the response. These all records. Now my intention is this Java person wants to get this data. This data Java person wants, Java people wants. Okay. So then here Java person using API 1, API 1 using our Django related API 1 using. Okay. Now this API 1 is going to converting like JSON. Okay. So always APIs in the form of JSON only we are developing, guys. So now because of this API, our request Java request is coming to in the form of JSON. Now JSON request is going to Django. JSON request is going to Django in the form of response back. Okay. Now so my request is coming to from Java to JSON, JSON to Django, guys. Now my Django is communicating database and getting these all data back to Django. Now Django is giving this data whatever available here, this data in the form of JSON response sending back. Okay. Now here JSON format, this entire response is available in the JSON format here. Okay. Now this JSON response is taken by Java. Now always Java person can understanding the JSON. So this person now got it that all data. Now whatever they want to do, they can do it later. Okay. Like this always APIs using for making the communication. So if you are not developing this API for your project, then so Java person not unable to use this API here. So without this API, that person unable to interact with your database and they may not going to get this data. Definitely. Okay. So one API, one time only you are developing as now Java person using that API, communicating with your DB and getting the data back and taking that one. Now same API using by .NET people also. Same API using by .NET. Now my .NET also communicating to our database via API format and getting the response back. Okay. Next here one more application is there, PHP for example. Here one more is there, just assumption PHP. Okay. Now this person also going to use API 1. So because of API 1, so that person also going to be communicated. Okay. So like this for our application purpose, we are going to developing one API for interacting with other applications. Okay. Now after developing API, then using this API, all other people can communicate with our application. Now my intention is my application wants to communicate with this one. For example, Java is having one database here. So here some data is there, other data is there. 5, for example, record 5 comma 6 are there here. Okay, these data I want to get, my Django people want to get this data. So this is communicated by Java guys, this DB. Now Java person developing one API using the Java format. Using the Java format, they developed one API guys. Now this API we are going to use inside our Django. Inside our Django, we are going to use API 2. Now this API 2 is converted into JSON. JSON is going to Java, and Java is communicating to database, getting the response back. Now Java returns a JSON response back. Now JSON response are getting by Django. Now Django can understanding that data 5 and 6. Okay, like always in the form of JSON or XML, our particular application data we are converting guys. So if you want to make the communication from one application to another application, like Django to Java, what is required? API is required. So API is in what format? JSON or XML. So that's why JSON or XML we are calling universal languages. Universal languages. Why means if data is available in JSON or XML, then that data can understanding by all other languages easily. Are you guys understanding, all of you, this diagram? Important structure guys. Okay, so now how we are going to developing, how we are going to converting our Django code into JSON format, means using our Django REST framework related concepts. Django REST framework is providing so many ready-made classes I told. So using those classes we are going to generate this response in the form of JSON. Okay, so here one point remember guys, strongly I'm telling. So Django to JSON, JSON to Django, this is our responsibility actually. So Django to JSON and JSON to Django converting purpose, using pure Django also we can do guys. Okay, using the pure Django also we can do it. But using the pure Django, if you are doing these all conversions, here we are writing manual conversions, more than 100 lines, more than 100 lines required guys, more than 100 lines. But if you are using the Django REST framework, not 100 lines required, just less than 10 lines code is required. Less than 10 lines code is required. Why means REST API is providing ready-made coding, 3 different classes. That's why for making the app-to-app communication purpose, always people are using the REST API. Are you guys understanding this one? All of you. So can I remove this diagram? Yeah guys. So I'll show you one application for just for knowledge purpose. So can see that coding lines, just can see guys. Later we will develop just for output purpose, I mean showing purpose only. I'm showing this one. So this is my view code guys, view code. So to make the, to providing the CRUD operations, to providing the CRUD operations means creating, updating, retrieving, deleting, these all things. If you want to do on our database tables, so that is we are calling CRUD operations. Okay, using pure Django, if you are writing for create one view, for update one view, for delete one view, for delete one view, for getting all one view, getting a single one view, like this, and number of views we are writing as. Okay, for every view one URL required, separate URLs, multiple URLs required for multiple views, and for every view templates also required, presentation HTMLs. Okay, HTML means again HTML code, CSS code, bootstrap code, these all things you need to have the knowledge. Okay, but if you are using REST API, if we are using the REST API, then so one view only, I created only one view with some predefined classes I told. So REST API is providing some predefined classes. Okay, so now just the 2 lines code you are writing guys, 2 lines code you are writing here. Okay, so these things are this one importing and this one importing related, some imports you created here, my employee importing, employee serial ledger importing, and view set module, here I used a view set module. Okay, so totally this one you are importing here, and this one you are importing here, and this one you are importing here. Just some imports we are importing as later our view logic only 2 lines, 3 lines code you are writing. One is the declaration and 2 more lines you are writing. Now using these 3 lines I can do it all CRUD operations. I can do it all CRUD operations. Okay, so now can see here. Here that is the output finally you are going to get like this, guys. So here I got it all data, guys. That is we are calling the getting all records. Using the same API, same API. This is my API. Now using this API from Java people also communicating. Java people also communicating with my Django. .NET people also communicating with my Django using the same API only. Okay, or else from other Django also, other Django people also communicating with us using the same API. If I want to create new data, then here I can create, guys. For example, what numbers are there here? 70, 100, 110. For example, 200 I'm giving. You can see employee ID 200. Employee name is Indra I'm taking. For example, Indra I'm taking. Email is Indra123.com. I'm taking salary is salary is 2 lakhs per month. Enough, Indra? Okay, so 20,000 I'm taking. So click post button. Whenever I'm clicking the post button, then this data is going to store into database, and if successfully creating, again getting back what created showing here. If successfully created here, 201 created showing. Using this URL, what I can do, I can get, I can post, I can head, I can options. I mean, like a number of variations are there. At the time of discussing programmatically, I'll tell about these all things. Yes, now my data is created. If I'm clicking here, I'm going to get all records. Okay, now just now we created one record, 200 related. Can see this is we created. This is we created. Okay, so this is the variation, guys. Now, if I want to get this single record, then here this ID is 200. I'm sending ID based. Okay, now see, out of all records, this single record you are getting using the same API only with ID. With ID, if ID I'm sending, that is only you are going to get. So if you want to do it update, so salary instead of 20,000, I'm going to change like 25. Okay, you can put here, you can click on the put button, then the data is updated into DB, and again changes also displaying here. This is your updated like that. Okay, so using that URL allowed methods are, these all are allowed methods. So later you will get it about these all things, guys. Now if I want to delete same API, using the same API I got it, using the same API I'm going to do update, using the same API I'm going to delete. Okay, so before deleting, this is asking confirmation. Are you sure you want to delete this employee instance? Instance means object. Okay, yes, I want to delete. Then this is going to be deleted. After deleting 204, you are going to get 204, you are getting our record deleted. Now this record deleted 200. If I'm trying to delete again, or else if I'm trying to get, then it returns 404 error, detail not found. Detail not found you are going to get, guys. Means that is not available, that's why not found. Okay, like these all things are ready-made presentation provided by REST API by default to do the CRUD operations. Understanding, guys? So these APIs are using by other people, other application people to interact with our application. Now to developing this API, how many lines of code I created? How many lines of code I created means just 3 lines of code I created. Okay, so this is the REST API related benefits. So because of this less lines of code, so what are the benefits? What are the benefits you are getting? Can see, guys, here advantages. So using the REST API, nothing but DRF, guys. Using the DRF, we are going to write what? Very less lines of code. Less lines of code. Am I right? So already you saw these all things practically. So because of using the Django REST framework, we are writing the less lines of code. So because of the less lines of code, then obviously performance of the application increasing. Less lines are there means within the less time executing. Line to line, top to bottom executing. Okay. So less lines of code is required, and performance is increasing for app to app communication, guys. I'm talking. So when you are trying to do communication between app to app, because of this REST API, performance of the application increasing. Okay, and less lines code you are writing means time is taking more or less. Okay, less time is taking to developing the coding. Less time. Less time means obviously time saving. Okay, na? Less time. Simply you can take it time saving. Time saving, guys. Time saving process. So if you are saving the time means cost of the project also saving. So 3 months you are developing as one project. Same project with the 2 months if you are developing means entire third month salaries, maintenance, all you are going to be saving. Okay. So time saving, cost to saving, time saving, cost of the project saving, and because of the less lines of code, readability is increasing. Easily we can read, guys. Okay. So readability, readability increasing, and complexity decreasing, complexity decreasing. So usually we are reading means no complexity. Okay, na? So these all are some benefits, guys. Always industry people are looking for these main factors. Okay, so within the less time, with less cost, they want to developing a best application, best performance they want to give. Then only new clients are coming and new projects are coming to that company. Okay, so that's why these are two factors, three factors achieving purpose. People are using the REST APIs. Okay, so you are getting these three means you are getting also these all benefits. Because of the list lines only you are getting these all things. Because of the list lines of code, ready-made code, you are going to get these all features, guys. Compared to others, compared to others. Okay, so RESTful APIs we are discussing, guys, here. Not only RESTful, some other kind of APIs also we can developing. For example, using pure Django also we can do it communication app to app, but no one is learning about that one. I'll tell, guys, in one session Django to other application how we are communicating also I'll tell. But when you are learning the Django, lot of people don't know about that one app to app communication. In my Django batches, I'm teaching that one app to app communication using the pure Django also. Okay, but I'm telling frankly, using the Django related APIs, people are not going to do communication app to app. Why means here using the Django REST framework, you are writing the less lines of code. For example, 10 lines you are writing as 10 lines code you are writing. But using the Django, if you are going to develop means 100 lines code is required, more than 100 lines. So instead of writing 100 lines, 10 lines only required. That's why even though if you knows about the Django conversion, okay, for making app to app, but in real time development, people are not going to use this one. Always going to use this one only. You have good knowledge about the Django conversions, and you are writing as, but your management, your team leader, superiors are there. So those people are not accepted your code. Remove all the code and make it this one. REST API add. I is telling. Why means as a developer, you know you are comfortable to write these underlines, but because of these underlines, these factors are not achieving. These factors are not achieving. That's why people are not accepted your code. And also when you are writing like this, then management definitely scolding like anything. You stupid fellow, why you are writing these all unnecessary lines? If you are using the REST API, then you are getting a lot of benefits. So first reduce these all lines and make it these all lines like this instructions passing. Okay, na? So that's why REST API is getting that much demanding nowadays, guys. Clear, all of you? Okay. Along with these features, along with these things, some more points I'm going to tell. So one of the best point is what is guys?
Sir, sound really coming low, sir.
Yeah, now okay.
Yeah, it's fine, sir.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So Django REST framework is providing one best concept, which name is the serializers concept, guys. Okay, DRF serializers concept. DRF serializers concept. Django REST framework serializers concept. I'm talking Django REST framework serializers means in pure Django also we have serializers concept. In pure Django also we have serializers concept, guys. Okay, so Django serializers we are not using. Django REST framework serializers we are using to make data one type to another type conversion. Serializer means one type data into another type conversion is called serialization, guys. Okay, so we have big session about the serializers, and in our entire REST API every day we are going to create serializers, serializer files. So you'll get it a lot of knowledge, no problem. Coming sessions. So simply, what is serialization? If anybody is asking, the process of converting one type data into another type is called serialization. You're going to give, guys. One type data into another type is called serialization. So here simply simple section I'm writing. So database having some data in the DB we have 1 2 3 like some records are there, guys. So database data I want to get back, database data I want to get back and storing into one variable. That variable we are calling query set. Okay, so this query set data, query set means database data, guys. The query set data we are going to convert into dictionary type. We are the Django developers means dictionary is having key value format. Tables having column and data, guys. A column with data. Okay, key and value format. That's why we are converting into dictionary. Dictionary. Getting this one? Every language having one type, data type with a key value format. For example, you are belongs to Java means map type is there, key value format. Same like this one. Now this dictionary data we are going to converting into JSON format. So this JSON data we are sending to browser or else another app, or else to another app, So now database data via these all conversions we are sending to browser or another application. This process we are calling serializers. Same thing from the browser I'm going to send some data, guys. This forward direction is a serialization we are calling. And from the browser I'm going to send some data that is converting into JSON. Now JSON converting into dictionary, dictionary going to converting into query set. Now query set data is going to database. Okay, this backward process we are calling deserialization. This backward process we are calling what? Deserialization. Okay, so what is serialization, what is deserialization, these all things with the diagrammatically we will discuss coming sessions. Okay, so simply one type data previously we discussed. So what is we discussing? So Django code we need to converting into JSON, right? One diagram I explained previously. So JSON type here is there, and here my Django code is there. Django code. Okay, so here my database is there, guys. Assumption my DB is there. Okay, now my database data I'm taking using the Django. Okay, so in the Django ORM queries are there. Using the ORM queries I'm converting into data, I'm communicating to database, I'll get the response back. Now the data I will store into here, guys. In this Django views somewhere I'm storing. That is nothing but query set. Query set. Okay, so this is the database data. So database data is storing into one variable query set. Now in this query set data again we are converting into dictionary. In the Django business logic we are writing here. This is query set data, guys. This query set data I'm converting into dictionary. Okay. Now this dictionary data finally I need to convert into JSON. Here only we are doing all the logics. Okay. So nothing but finally this dictionary data here Django is having dictionary type. This dictionary data we are converting into JSON. Okay. Now you have JSON, guys, here. Now if our database data via our Django is converting like a JSON format. JSON format. So if JSON format is there, this data can take by Java people, can take by .NET people, can take by PHP people, like all people can take this JSON data. Guys, are you understanding the structure? Roughly I'm telling, later more clearly we will discuss. This is all demo session. Okay, na? So This database data via our Django, we are converting like a JSON. Now this JSON data can take by all other application people. That is the one variation. This process we are calling serialization. Deserialization means, okay, these people are sending data. Java people sending some data, or else .NET people sending some data. Now the data, always any other people are sending data. The data always comes like a JSON format, guys. Need to come like a JSON format. Now this JSON data reverse process we are converting into dictionary. We are converting into dictionary. Okay. Now this dictionary data we are converting into query set. That query set data we are storing into database. Okay. So database data via dictionary into JSON. JSON data via dictionary into database. It's called serialization, guys. Serialization and deserialization. Okay, in our entire programs, in our REST API programs, these all conversions only we are going to discuss in one type to another type, how we are communicating. So different variations we are going to be discussing. I will show you slowly. Okay. So simply in our entire REST API is providing so many new concepts. I told. So one of the best concept is serializers concept. It is takes main role, guys, in the entire Django REST framework. Serializer is taking the main role. It is looks like a human being heart. In our human being body, so many organs are there, like liver, heart. Okay, so many some eyes, ears, nose, tongue, like a number of parts are there, guys. Out of all the parts, we have art. Art is a very important role. Okay, so same like in Django REST framework, so many new concepts are there. So one of the best concept is serializers. Understand this one? So the serializers from starting program onwards, ending program. So regularly we are going to use serializers concept. Remember, later we will discuss more clearly. Okay, now next inbuilt. So here inbuilt serializers are there, guys. Inbuilt serializers are there. That is one point. And inbuilt or else I'm going to take a built-in. I'm going to take a so built-in authentication classes are there. Built-in authentication. Built-in authentication classes providing built-in authentication classes providing for simply we are writing providing built-in authentication classes providing, guys. So we are developing the APIs for getting all records, for creating, for deleting, for updating like this, guys. Okay, so using those APIs, app to app communication is possible. App to app communication is possible. Now if I'm not providing security, if I'm not providing security to my API, then any other person can use these APIs, guys. Any other person can use these APIs, and they may do some illegal activities. Possibilities are there. They may do some illegal activities if we are not providing the security. If we are not providing the security to our APIs. Okay. Then how we are providing the security means by using the authentication classes. By using these authentication classes, we are going to be providing, guys. Clear this one? Okay, so many authentication classes are there. For example, basic authentication class is there, session authentication is there. Okay, session authentication is there, token authentication is there. This is a very important one. And real time also we are using token authentication, and in interviews also so many times asking about this one. Okay, guys, only because of this knowledge, only because of only this knowledge, so previously some people got jobs also, guys. Only token authentication. So when attending interviews, Python questions asking, Django questions asking, so only just asking token authentication. So once cleared about this token authentication practically, then immediately selected people. Some people that much importance in the token authentication. We will discuss, guys, these all things. Okay, so we are developing URLs, guys. To those URLs, we are going to providing security. Security means if anybody is trying to use our API, before that it is asking your credentials. Please first log in. If you want to log in, you need to do registration. Okay, so all login people can use my API. Then if any illegal activities going means, easily can identifying who done that activity. Okay, so by whom that action, illegal action is happened, like these all things we can identify because of the security class. Security. Okay, how providing security, what is authentication, what is authorization, authentication related what predefined things are there, authorization related what predefined things are there. These all things more clearly we are going to discuss with 4-5 projects. 4-5 projects we are discussing about the security related guys. So here who can do, who cannot do something, some operations. For example, myself only can access data, yourself can access, can create, and somebody can access, can create, can delete also. So like that permissions we can provide, what can do, what cannot do. Users on my table, what can do, what cannot do. These all things using these security classes we can provide guys. Okay na? It's like a number of ready-made features are provided by Django REST framework. That's why this Django REST framework is getting nowadays more demanding. Guys, are you understanding these all benefits? Okay, all of you. Now later session. So far these benefits enough guys about this one. When we are discussing programmatically, a lot of other benefits also you are going to get. So next session, here we have universal languages, JSON and XML related. So different types of services are there. So what are the types of services are there, and why only RESTful services are demanding nowadays? Why not other services? So that comparison you are going to get, and also some general terms are there in this entire REST API we are talking. What is API? What is the REST API? What is the partner application? What is the provider application? Okay, and using the same URL, for example, this one guys, using the same API, I got it data, and I updated and I deleted using the same API only, but I'm performing the 3 operations. Okay. Previously, at the time of learning Django, for getting one URL you are writing, that URL calling one view, that view displaying some presentation, something, some output response. For deleting one more URL, okay, for updating one more URL, like separately you are developing in the Django. But here one view only I created, one URL only I created. Using that URL, all operations I'm performing. So right now this API I'm getting and I'm updating and I'm deleting. So in my mind, if I'm deciding to delete, then delete operation only going. In my mind, if I'm deciding to get operation only going. How it is understanding what you want to do. This is our program. We are writing the program. In that program, how it is understanding what we want to do, users wants to do. Means for that one separate modules are there. Okay, about those modules we are going to discussing slowly. Once these all things understanding, then basic terms, basic introduction about the Django REST framework you are understanding. Then programmatically we are going to start REST API installation, how we are doing. So Python you done already installation, and Django you done. Okay, now REST API how we are going to do, and REST API related what are the default applications are there, and all Django related files from Django like that you are importing as am I right? From Django like that you are importing. For example, in model you can see here from Django.db like that we are importing. If it is a REST API things how we are going to importing REST API things. These all things we will discuss later session. Got it guys? Okay, so for this day this is enough, and tomorrow I'll take all our people mails. Okay, tomorrow I'll take all your emails, and whatever we discussing so far theoretically, these all things ready-made typing material I'll give you guys, and hand notes also, class notes also I'll give you, written notes, PDF files, and also videos also you'll get it for one more time listening purpose if you want. If any day people are missing any one class, you can watch that videos also. Okay, so in these entire sessions you are going to get videos and materials and practical coding here. Okay. So as soon as possible, guys, you need to do registration. Then you guys will get new link. So from there onwards, all our programs going to done practically. Okay, right? So thank you guys. I'll stop the recording. If anybody having queries, can ask me. Guys, do you have any queries? No queries? I hope so far clear. No one is talking.
Sir,
Yeah, if you're not taking means I'm thinking
sir,
like everyone is clear.
sir,
Yeah.
will you
Who is
teach about
talking?
meta classes?
Which one, sir?
Meta classes?
Meta class means inside our program, what required meta classes we are discussing. Meta class means like a nested class we are writing. In the Django forms classes we are writing. Forms,
And
forms.py
various
meta classes. Yeah.
options of meta classes and other things about all things about meta classes. Will you teach about?
See, depending on situations, sir. In my program, what required, those things I'll discuss. For example, Django, if you are taking, or Python, if you are taking, we have n number of things. For example, third-party modules only 30,000, 40,000 modules are there. Okay, na? So when we are
Okay.
discussing our concept related what required, those things. If any new module, third-party module is there, this is for so and so purpose. Using this one, we will do these things. Like that, we are discussing. Yeah, different variations are there concepts. So concepts wise, for that concepts what required, I'm discussing.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay, any others? Okay, guys. Then I'll make tomorrow. Thank you. See you. Bye.